Hey everybody, I'm super excited to tell you about Popplet.com, which is a website that I learned about a few weeks ago, and all of the great ways that you can use it in your classroom. Popplet is like a graphic organizer or a web. It's a great place for you to help your children organize their ideas, work in groups together. So let's get started. I'm going to click on Make a New Popplet, and I am going to make a Popplet about giraffes. It says a Popplet is a big board, and your kids get to choose what color they want that board to be. I'm going to pick gray. They would click on Make It So to get started, and you basically have a blank slate. In order to make a new Popplet and have it show up on your screen, you would just double click anywhere, and you get a blank box. Because I'm making one that's like a web, I'm going to list some facts about giraffes. I'm just going to write giraffes in the center. A couple of things I want to point out: the kids can change the color of the border around their Popplet to whatever they want. They can change the text size. They can change the justification of that text. They can draw inside of their Popplet. And they can add photos or YouTube videos. So I'm going to go ahead and find a photo of giraffes that I have here on my computer. And there you have it. I've just made my first Popplet. Alright, so I want to list some facts about giraffes. Again, I'm going to double click anywhere in the screen, and I'm going to list my first fact about giraffes. And I can say that giraffes are the largest, I'm going to say tallest land mammal. And again, I can change the color of the Popplet to whatever I want. And now I want to connect these two, because again, I'm making mine like a web. So I would click on this center one, drag this circle here, let go, and now it's connected. I do want to point out the name tags here on the Popplets. They both have my name on them. I think that name tags are great for when the children are collaborating together on a Popplet, because as the teacher you get to see who typed what Popplet. But if I'm just working on one individually, I might want to turn that off because it gets really repetitive. And so if I click right here, here's my menu with different options that I can do. I would go to View, Hide Name Tags, and that would just turn that off. I'm going to add another Popplet, just giving more information about giraffe height. So I double click again anywhere I want, and I could type giraffes can be up to 19 feet tall. You can move a Popplet anywhere on the screen, even anywhere out of view, and as you can see, the screen will automatically adjust. These little arrows here on the outside, you can drag them to make a Popplet as big or as small as you would like. And then again, to connect, you just drag it to the one you want to connect to. And they can drag anywhere in the screen to move it. This zoom arrow zooms out and zooms in, so this can also be helpful. Let's add some more. So again, you can double click. Another thing that you can do is click on the Popplet that you want to connect your new Popplet to. So I want to connect mine to the center one that says giraffes. Click on any of the circles. So I'll click on this one and just drag it out and let go, and it will automatically create a new one for you. And I'm going to write a giraffe's neck can be up to 6 feet long. And let's say I want to again add another fact about their necks. I could double click. Their necks are taller than most humans. And then I just connect those two. So I'm just going to continue to add some more facts about giraffes really quickly. Okay, so I'm a student and I'm done with my Popplet, and I want my teacher to be able to see it. I have a couple of options. I can click right here, go to export, and I can save it as a PDF, JPEG, or PNG. So these two are image files, JPEG and PNG, and then a PDF opens in Adobe or in preview on the MacBook. So let's say they wanted to do that. I could go here, and I have my Google Drive file on my computer, so I would just click on Google Drive. Giraffes Popplet is what I would name it. Save, and now that's going to be saved in my drive. Put it together. And then this is when the name tags would come into play. So I would definitely make sure the kids have show name tags on, because again, then as the teacher you can see who did what in this project. So let's say that you wanted your students to collaborate on a Popplet together. I'm going to show you how the kids can invite other students to work with them on one. Over here, if you click the share button, it says add collaborator. The kids have two choices. They can either type in the entire email address of the student they want to invite, or if they already have an account, their screen name is going to pop up down here as the children start to type in their email address. So I created a student account for myself. My screen name is Tech Student, so I would click on that name and click the blue button that says add them. If I didn't have an account, I could just click invite. But I'm going to click add them. And now when I go to my student account, it's going to show a blue button that says inbox with the number 1 next to it because I have a message waiting. And here's the Popplet that I've been invited to. It's called Giraffes, and it's going to ask me if I want to join this Popplet as a collaborator, and students can choose to look at it first, click yes or no. So I'm going to click yes, and I'm going to add some more facts about giraffes. But now, as a collaborator, I can see that the person who owns this Popplet already created some popples, and you can see when I double click to create a new Popplet, now my name is on there as a collaborator, and again my teacher can see who did what. So now my popples are added to this Popplet, and again my name shows on the top so that my teacher knows who did what. Children also have the option to comment on other popples that are there. So I could click on this one, I can click the little comment bubble, and now I can leave a comment. And so now when anyone else logs in, they'll see that little comment bubble there, and they'll know that this popple has a comment on it, and it will show who commented and what they said. So that also starts a digital conversation between the students. They can see what other people commented, they can write a comment back to one another, and so that's also a very useful tool. You also have the option to go full screen, which would just make the Popplet bigger. You have zoom options, zoom in, zoom out. You can also create a presentation. So if you want it to play like, say, a slideshow would, you click on presentation mode and it tells you to press record to begin recording your presentation. When you do that, you click on the Popplets in the order that you want them to go. So I want this to be first, second, third, fourth, etc. And then when I am done, I click present, and it says I can press the left and right keys to move between popples. Okay. And it's going to play this popple. So I'm pressing my right key to go in the order that I designated. So that's kind of cool too. If the kids were presenting this on a smartboard, they could easily just tap on the smartboard to go one Popple at a time. Back on your main Popplet page, I do want to point out the public Popplet section, which allows you to see how other people are using this tool. The children can also print these Popplets and they can duplicate it, which means that it would just make a copy of this same exact Popplet here on the screen. There's lots of different options here. I encourage you to play around with it and see what you can get done with it. One important piece here that you should know is that on the free Popplet site you have 5 Popplets. So down here to let you know how many you've used. If you download a Popplet, if you take a screenshot of the Popplet, that's a way for you to save it, and then you can delete it. And then that changes how many Popplets you have. So I've made this, but if I click on that X, it will delete it and I will go back down to 0 Popplets. So I don't really see having 5 Popplets as being a roadblock. Each student in your class would need their own Popplet account. If you want me to come in and show Popplet to your kids to get you started, I would love to do that. Just let me know.